comment. That's amazing.
Here's my comment. Hasan is reading a chat message.
I didn't know about that one. That's ridiculous.
Get a load of this dumbass. What a stupid fucking dumb bitch. Holy shit. Yeah, that's defamation. Straight up, man. Okay, first of all, she's a fucking bitch. Shame on you. Fuck you. Here's a Hasan orbiter Denims. You guys might not know who she is because she's mostly irrelevant. This is a disgusting human being. She's a vile fucking piece of shit. And yes, she is a fucking bitch. That's a fucking bitch of a person. She is earning the coveted distinction of being a fucking bitch. I have decreed, let it be known, that Denims is a dumb fucking bitch. What a vile fucking human being.
Wow.
Hey guys. I think I pissed off Ethan Klein. He hasn't had a lot of nice things to say about me since the incident.
45,000 live viewers, by the way. 45,000 views. She had like 45,000 live viewers.
So, yeah, I got around 45,000 viewers covering Ethan Klein's content nuke on Hasan. The video was pretty terrible overall, and I think anyone that wasn't sure before is completely certain now that Ethan is becoming...
Does that mean it's finally happened that women now dominate all of Twitch politics? Politics in general? Online politics and political media? Because that would be glorious. I think it's been a long time coming. I think it's been an entire genre dominated by dudes. A lot of misinformed dudes as well. A lot of misogynistic dudes too, who just seem to want to attack women just as a genre. That whole shit. But yeah, it's been obviously, we have been bereft of hearing, you know, women and women in these spaces being able to talk about it, in large part due to the fact that, like, in general, if you're a woman on the internet, you're going to get attacked just by virtue of existing. In addition to that, if you do politics on the internet, you're going to get a ton of attacks as well. So it's not a very, let's just say, safe space for people to try and grow, to try and reach others, to try and spread a message or any of that kind of stuff, because there's a lot of people who get incredibly, let's just say, aggressively angry about that. So, I mean, that's pretty incredible. 45,000 live viewers. That's more than Tim Pool. That's more than Steven Crowder. My God. That's even more than Hasanabi. Well, what has he got right now? Yeah, you're right. 37,000. Wow. It's a new age.
Of his former self. I mean, shit. I used to watch this guy in high school.
I wish I could fucking memory zap my face after watching this shit.
Now, this video isn't going to cover the whole manifesto because, well, I already did that on my stream. But I did want to respond to some of the clips of me that I've seen floating around. Before we get to those clips, I wanted to address Ethan and anyone else that might have noticed that I was silent or sometimes needed to control myself to make sure I didn't laugh.
Once again, speechless?
You're my hero, bro.
Nothing to say, girl! Say something.
More
Nothing to
stories
say?
coming out.
What's funny about that? Nothing to say?
Wait, sorry. So just for complete context, Ethan Klein produced the Hasan nuke, which was a disaster. I mean, if ever you want to broadcast to the world that you're crashing out in real time, you go and make that. Especially at a time now when there's so much fucked up stuff happening in the world. I gotta say, like, if in fact all these people are, like Ethan has said that he is now like a liberal or a social democrat or something, it seems like the right to the far right are truly the ones who are controlling the show in the US of A. Probably the people that you want to go after, not like the biggest leftist who has a streaming platform that like no one else comes close to in those spaces. There's not a lot of other Hasans. I mean, there's basically one now. Denims to come out of that. But you make the whole content nuke, you release it, and a lot of people watched it, and then they laughed at you, rightfully so, because like it was just fucking, you know, clown shoes. It was so fucking basement tier. This is the best you can do. These are all just like old clips taken out of context clips. This is clearly you farming outrage. The whole thing was sourced from Destiny and DGG subreddits, anything that you can find. There's no new information presented. It's just the same old like, hey, by the way, he's scary because he's a terrorist, and also he was a leftist. I had no idea, even though I had a show with him called The Leftovers, and I made The Leftovers with him. Just there was no way of knowing that he in fact was a leftist, and it turns out he doesn't like liberals. I didn't know that about him. He snuck that by me. He got all of these little secrets in. So yeah, and then Denims watches it. and gets huge numbers. Incredible. Again, congratulations. And then now he's hate watching her, hate watching him. We've gone like full Bo Burnham here. It's like a complete circle. And then getting mad that she's specifically not reacting to his damning evidence. It's like, oh, what? You're not going to say anything? This is a clip right before you. Hasan is watching a clip of a terrorist, and he's not calling him a terrorist. Are you not mad? You're not going to say anything?
No comment?
I can't believe.
No comment. No comment. That's amazing.
The problem is that Ethan is lying. It's obvious to anyone that knows anything about the topic before going into the video, and it's also obvious to Ethan. I'm silent trying to control myself because I honestly cannot believe that the Ethan Klein isn't afraid to make such a dishonest video. In each clip, I am holding out in the hopes that he brings it back or explains himself, and each time he never did. He literally just leaves in flat out lies. And if you don't already believe me, let me show you. The first clip is about a Sneeko fan that harassed Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein says in his video that this was because of Hasan. The clip is supposed to be me saying that this is obviously a Sneeko fan and then being dumbstruck when he's proven to be a Hasan fan, but he's not. Ethan is lying. Let's watch the clip from his stream.
45,000 people and nobody's got a problem. Watch this one.
Fuck, bro, you're ugly as shit. You look like a rapist. Bro, look in the fucking. You look like a fucking rapist, Ethan.
Is she horrified by what he said, or she's like, got him?
Feel bad for you.
Okay, can I just say really quickly, it's very obvious from the way that guy's talking he's a Sneeko fan. Like, that's very clear Sneeko lexicon. Can we just be honest for just 2 seconds?
Let's be honest.
Like,
Finally,
just be real.
please.
Wallahi, that is not.
What, Allahi?
No.
What does that mean?
Wallahi, I swear.
Oh, I swear.
to God.
Okay.
Also, why are you doing this? I don't understand. Why are you doing a live stream? Like, what, another 20,000 live viewers stream to watch another streamer watching your content? Like, how insecure do you have to be to get to that point where it's like, it's not enough for me to go after Hasan. I want to go after people who watched my takedown of Hasan and weren't convinced. Like, how dare you? How dare you not realize how damaging this man can be?
Good. She swears.
Oh my god, bro, I love you, Hasan. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
I love you, bro.
I'm so sweaty.
I love you, bro.
Once again,
I have to interview you.
speechless?
You're my hero, bro.
Nothing to
I love
say,
you.
girl!
Bro, you're the coolest guy.
Here's the, you just went a whole fucking, you just grandstanded on how he's obviously just must not be a fan of Hasan. And like, how could she sit there so stupid and smug? Oh
Like,
my
just
God.
Again, Ethan is lying. His proof isn't proof at all. The first time this guy shows up during this stream, it happens 15 minutes earlier when he meets Hasan's crew. Notice he doesn't react when they say they're going to find Hasan.
What are you guys doing? What kind of content?
We're just streaming. It's live stream.
Oh, live streaming?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a content creator too, bro.
Yeah. Sure.
I do content. So you're just literally live right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
How many viewers?
A couple.
A few.
You?
Yeah.
Like what, 30?
Probably more than 30.
Really?
Yeah, I would say more than 30. Yeah.
Dude, guys, my YouTube channel is @dating&money. Please subscribe. @dating&money. I talk about Palestine
Dating
on
and
there.
money.
Yeah.
Dating and money.
I talk about Palestine on there.
Okay, hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to find his son.
Shameless.
Okay.
Where is this guy?
Where'd he go? Yeah.
But yeah, just type in and then dating&money, guys.
Listen, chat, do not fucking go to
not-
dating and money.
Chat, you better
Do not
stay
fucking
here.
go.
Do not go to that.
Well, I mean, that's pretty clear. Also, why is everyone a streamer? We don't need more of us. We're garbage humans, all right? We need more builders. I never thought I'd be the one to say this, so I have to point it out. It's true, all right? We need to make stuff. I mean, we can't just have an entire society of streamers. Nothing will get done. How are the trains going to run on time? All right, everything's going to crash into each other. We already see how bad the FAA regulations are going down in the United States. All right, we don't need more streamers. We need more pilots. we need more people in positions of power.
We can't afford to lose any more viewers. Hasan has fallen on hard times. You know this.
Now, the clip from Ethan's nuke, which happens 15 minutes later.
Lance pulling the ladder up.
Oh my god, bro, I love you, Hasan. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
I love you, bro.
I'm so sweaty.
I love you, bro. I have to interview you. You're my hero, bro. I love you, bro.
This one is pretty ridiculous on its face, so I'll just leave it there. But here are some of the nice things this guy had to say about Hasan and me on his Twitter.
Wow. So, N-word, F-slur, illegal for her to say that she's a political streamer, women shouldn't talk about politics, hardcore misogynist, transphobia. Yeah, we got more transphobia here. Wow. Kind of seems like a big-ass Nico fan, I gotta say. Because there's the whole, like, facts-free taking Sneeko. I know, sorry, but you can't see it on camera there. I'll zoom it up. That one's a little bit damning. Like, hey, look at me, daddy. Look at me. Come on. Free Sneeko on YouTube. Why is he banned? The rules were changed. He was one of the biggest sources of viewership. Facts free at Sneeko.
Things this guy had to say about Hasan and me on his Twitter.
Invent
You know the difference between you and Hasan?
what?
Not Nasrallah. The difference between, Ethan, the difference between you and Hasan Piker?
Yes, what? Please tell me. So insightful.
He never...
I don't deny rape. I don't support terrorists. I don't lie and gaslight and manipulate my audience.
The second clip is about a stream Hasan did reacting to Hasan Nasrallah. The accusation is that Hasan supports Nasrallah, and I made a fool out of myself by saying that that wasn't true, only to be immediately proven wrong. Let's watch. He never said Hasan Nasrallah was a good guy.
Right.
You
Yeah,
explicitly said Gallant was a good guy.
Right, exactly, of course. Invented
But
the
y'all
legend
did.
of the Nazi atrocities.
I don't have an issue with them.
هذا التحالف إسرائيل.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. I mean, listen. Listen. You have to remember something, okay? A lot of these...
No comment. That's amazing.
Here's my comment. Hasan is reading a chat message. Yes, seriously. He goes on to explain that
I didn't know about that one. That's ridiculous. But you know what's extra sad about this is Ethan would have. You would have known this. This is something that's easily debunkable. You know, and then the research process. You got a whole team of people. Come on, there's an entire team of people putting this stuff together. It's not just Ethan Klein, you know, day in, day out, working diligently. He's got a studio. He's got editors. He's got people who work with him. And I'm sure some people would be able to be like, hey, by the way, this clip, the one that we're about to put in here, where it seems like Hasan is saying the sentence out loud, he's reading his chat. He's reading a chat out loud, which is a thing that streamers do. You know that because you're a streamer? You have the same job, so what's going on here? That's wild.
himself agreeing with him is that Nasrallah is well educated.
You have to remember something, okay? A lot of these dudes, you see them in their fucking fits, and you hear about like some of their attitudes about like gay people, for example, and you immediately fucking resort to Orientalist perspectives, not realizing that these motherfuckers are better read than you by a million. You might not agree with his methods, but ultimately, this motherfucker has read a shit ton of books.
Okay, I thought those two clips were fun, but the next clip is a little bit more serious. Before we get into it, a quick palate cleanser. You'll notice when we get to the next clip, Ethan Klein put a banner labeling me as an ex-Destiny orbiter. He's doing this to distract from the fact that he's currently orbiting Destiny.
Hasan and his community is desperate to link me to Destiny, someone who I don't even know. They claim that he like ghost wrote my video, that he's my favorite creator.
I wonder why people might think that. For one, Ethan uses Destiny's subreddit as a source for his stream. Here's him doing it in October, and here's him explaining why he got the Frogan section of his video wrong.
Here, it's right here.
Oh, never mind.
It's right here. Right at the top. Frogan Rising Star 2024. Right here. What even is this post from? Is it even from Destiny subreddit?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, this is a doctored photo, but they just ran with it like it was real. It was the same thing with that picture of Mike from PA. There was a photo of Mike from PA whose only source of that doctored photo was from the Destiny subreddit. So again, the only place you would have found that on the internet and then used to put into your own video. would have been from the desk. Like, I noticed the entire content nuke went through so many revisions. Like, there were so many times where it's like, oh, I can't release it this week. And I mean, it is pretty fucked up that like the week that you were supposed to release it, or you were planning on releasing it, a whole bunch of very serious accusations come out against Destiny, and by proxy, you know, people who might be supporting him and using his community, as he is accused by multiple women of very serious sex crimes. And it's not exactly, you know, one of the best people you might want to use for a source when it comes to any of this, and might be one of, you know, someone you would distance yourself from, let's say, at the very least, rather than like saying, hey, by the way, this is going to be effectively the best way for me to try and take down my enemy being Hasan. But like, these are pretty serious errors. And then, I mean, they were countless throughout the whole video, where time and time again, you're like, well, that's just a doctored photo, or this clip is just completely taken out of context, or even in the context of which you have left the clip, it doesn't say the thing that you're trying to say about Hasan. And like, I'm not saying that no one should be able to criticize Hasan. You absolutely should, because like, if people aren't going to be criticizing people who have large audiences, that goes against the very idea of like holding to account anyone who might, you know, spread misinformation on the internet. But not like this. Not by spreading more misinformation, not being like, Hasan, there's something very serious I want to talk about, and now I'm going to use a doctored photo to try and make my point, or Hasan has some things that are really, really fucked up. Here's a clip of him where he's actually reading someone in the chat, and it sounds like he's saying the thing out loud. I know that, but I'm going to put it there anyway and just run with it.
Okay, so that's the post.
Yes,
so that's the post. So that is where I found it, and like, I'll admit that was sloppy.
But really, we could also just ask Destiny. Here's what he had to say on October 22nd, the day after Ethan Klein got caught browsing his subreddit.
I know it wouldn't look good for Ethan to publicly do anything with you, but if you reach out on private at all, well, privately we chat a ton, of course. Why do you think I've been off stream so much the past week? I'm like scripting these fucking videos. But publicly, I mean, it's difficult to associate with him because Hasan is just going to accuse me of like mind fucking him, basically, right?
If Ethan Klein is willing to lie about all this other stuff, what else is he willing to lie about?
I never fucked Destiny.
Anyways, on to the final clip.
Very good. Go from believe all women to pics or it didn't happen. The vast majority of people, if not all, who were raped were murdered on the spot.
Here's the thing, though. We are believing the women who come forward and talk about their sexual abuse or experiences. I'm not going to believe fucking Biden when he tells me that everybody's getting raped. That's insane. You realize that that's insane, right?
Yeah. Obviously.
Dam Goldstein Almog was kidnapped from her home on October 7th by Hamas terrorists and was held captive for 51 days. Though only 17 years old, she witnessed the murder of her father and sister on that day and is now speaking out about what she witnessed in Gaza as well in a new documentary by Sheryl Sandberg, Screams Before Silence. In new footage, Agam reveals that sexual assault and rape was a regular component of the life as a hostage in Gaza.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happened on October 7th.
Hasan, maybe you would like to call her a liar. Please, go right ahead.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happened on October 7th.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses, most of who were in hiding and heard or saw it happen. What's the problem, fucking bitch? Did you not hear what they said? You respect women? Why are you calling them liars? How fucking cool is that? Say something. You just said you believe victims, but here it's a victim right now, a woman, telling you this happened and you're smiling? How do you disprove firsthand testimony? She goes, I wouldn't believe it unless it was firsthand. Here's a 17-year-old whose family was murdered in front of her and she was kidnapped for 50 days and continually raped while being in captivity. Nothing to say? Nothing? You're not going to fucking acknowledge what just happened?
She's paused. You know that. Why are you silent? What? Right now, Ethan, why aren't you saying anything? Why won't you? Oh, your silence only incriminates you further, sir. Look at you, unable to respond to me live here. Why, when you're bringing up something as serious as sexual assault, which, by the way, there was multiple times in that video when sexual assault is brought up, and then it's just done in like he tries to turn it into comedy. Like, he does a thing where he's like, Hasan doesn't even respect the fact that there was women who were sexually assaulted on October 7th. Here's a clip of him saying as much. The clip does not say that. The clip, even out of context, says to Hasan, it's immaterial to him about whether or not he's going to oppose a genocide or oppose, ethnic cleansing or oppose apartheid. If the people who are being genocided are imperfect. That's the point of the clip. It's that, like, yes, that doesn't change anything for me, the dynamics of it. He's not endorsing it. He's not saying it's good. The same thing applies to, like, any action that Hamas takes. It's like, on one end, you're asking someone, do you condemn Hamas? When the question should be, do we universally, as a people, condemn genocide? Do we universally, as a people, oppose apartheid? And if the answer is yes, then that's what we should be working towards ending. Not towards, have these people been perfect? Are they good people? Is everything that they do? Like, the same argument is used exactly towards queer folk, right? It's like, how can you rightfully support Palestine when you, as a gay person, would be executed if you went there? You would be stoned to death. You'd be thrown off a building. So how do you support them? And it's like, I support the condemnation of an apartheid system, and that an apartheid system has to end. I don't have to support whether or not I think they are liberal enough, or whether they are progressive enough, or whether or not they have a very strong pro-LGBTQ plus message there. I think that they are honestly being starved and bombed constantly, so they don't really have an opportunity to explore themselves or their sexuality or their gender or other aspects like that. It's very, very hard to try and understand aspects as complex as human sexuality when you are currently being genocided. So no, the argument remains that yes, I'm still going to oppose that, even if people in Palestine are not going to be super pro-LGBTQ. Like that, again, it's you're just trying to leverage. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, are you a chicken for KFC? Do you think that that's okay? You know, the very people who would try to kill you, they don't have power. They're effectively being wiped off the face of the earth. They're by the world's strongest military weapons provider, giving their weaponry directly to Israel. The United States is directly funding this. Like, in what situation are they currently posing a threat to the queer community up here in Canada? It's such a ridiculous argument. The same thing for sexual assault. Myself, and I think a lot of people who spoke about this, wanted there to be an investigation. I want there to be people who look into what happened on October 7th, as in international community should be allowed into that area to be able to assess what took place, including if there was these sexual assaults or if there was systemic sexual assault of civilians, of Israeli civilians that were taking place on the behalf of Hamas. That wasn't allowed to take place. The entire area was one in which only very select people were ever allowed to see the accounts of what took place. There wasn't international investigations allowed. This wasn't something that the international community was allowed to look into. And instead, there were multiple stories that were coming out that were saying secondhand accounts of sexual assault took place. Not the firsthand accounts as in someone states that they were themselves sexually assaulted, but that people who were investigating what happened looked upon either dead bodies or people who had been killed and said that in addition to being killed, they had also been sexually assaulted. I'm saying that yes, absolutely, universally, that we should believe all victims and that there should be more investigations taking place, not less. Quite the opposite.
I will acknowledge what just happened. This woman who you claimed was continually raped in captivity did not claim to have been raped. In fact, when she was released from captivity, she had this to say.
I'll read it out loud.
When she was released from captivity, she had this to say.
A young man from them did arm wrestling with me, but he brought a towel. Why the towel? Because it's forbidden for them to touch us. For them, women are sacred. Women are like queens. They talked about how to look after them. We told them that sometimes we have friendships, that my daughter, Ajam, might, or that she might have several friends before she gets married. And I also encouraged her to do that so she can get to know and learn before she gets married. And we would argue with them about that.
Later, she did a different interview for a documentary, which is what Ethan put on the screen. In that interview, she says that at least half the hostages she spoke to said they were sexually assaulted. At no point did she claim that anything had happened to her, and to my knowledge so far, no hostages have given first-hand accounts of being sexually assaulted in captivity.
Every time we talked about at least one of the people said that they were suffered sexual and physical abuse. About half of them.
Now, Other women have also claimed that while they weren't victims themselves, they spoke to others that were. Asking people to believe secondhand accounts that change with no explanation is insane. I take issue with other people manipulating these women's horrific experiences to fit their narratives. I have said countless times that in any military, paramilitary, or terrorist attack, there will unfortunately be sexual abuse. American troops have been found guilty of this countless times over the past few decades. I have to believe that there was sexual abuse on October 7th. I will also always believe victims who come forward to talk about their sexual abuse. I stand by that. But you don't care about victims, Ethan, because if you did, you wouldn't make up lies just to push your anti-Muslim Arab bias. What bias? This bias.
I do, on the other hand, acknowledge that, like, I think per capita, a lot of the weird fucking terrorism and crimes and shit, I mean, there's definitely some strong thread of violence through the Muslim community, or Arab Muslims, to be more specific.
Anyways, that's the video, and in case Ethan doesn't want to watch it, here are my thoughts straight from his mouth.
I'm not watching the video. What's the virtue in that? Literally, if you want to know what's my opinion, just watch the fucking video. I went through great... He goes, he's not political and he's a fucking idiot. Good. That's why I took my time to tightly articulate my thoughts into a video as concise as it can be. It's long because obviously I had a lot to say. And I think this stuff isn't so simple, which is why you need like
14 minutes
to say what I wanted to say. It's not simply something that you can convey so easily. And that you're not watching the fucking video. And that's somehow virtuous, that you're being a coward. You are literally being a coward, and that's virtuous in his community. Like, what are we talking about? How does his audience let him get away with this? I mean, yeah, sure. I apologize in acknowledgement when I am wrong. I love Destiny.
Don't let this happen to you. Go to serfscoffee.com to order the only end-to-end owned indigenous coffee company.
Watching everyone, this independent series is made entirely possible thanks to our patrons. It was produced by Anna Loves Riley, Arian McCarthy, Bobby Lasers, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hagbard Celine, Jimmy Sombrero, Multimongi, Omni, Political Papi, Preston Kroll, Quiet 185, Richard Bohem, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Cernicus, Stellar Gwyn, Sebastian Demmel, and Words Greenwood. Not to mention all the other patrons you now see on screen. We couldn't have done this show without you. If you can help support the show, please check out patreon.com/theserfs to unlock bonus secret episodes as well as get the content before anyone else.